Hello, a bit smoky. This is unit 2 of how to bake bread on a campfire using a cast iron Dutch oven pot. We're currently roasting some peppers in our pot. We've got our fire first aid kit, our fire safety gloves and our fire blanket, and we've put the ingredients into baking the bread. So now we're just going to start mixing those ingredients together and creating a nice dough. So usually when we bake bread we need to knead it for at least 10 minutes. I'm just checking it's the right consistency, and I'm going to wash my hands again because you can't be too clean. Well, you can be, but you know, making food, so you want to do the 20-second rule. And I promise I am washing my hands, not just swishing some water about, but I can't just move the camera and come back and all that faff. So you want to make sure your hands are dry really before touching the dough, because if you add any more moisture to it, it might... This is not a different bag of flour. I did not go and get more flour. That is not what happened in the interim period. Okay, so just ensure that if you are doing it by, you have enough ingredients to rectify any haphazards, any mistakes. So this is going to be a good lump of bread. I also added a little bit of oil because I managed to find the oil. And you can, you know, make lots of different bread recipes. This is walnut bread, which means I've just put some walnuts in it and bashed them up. Okay, so I think that's mixed together enough now for me to start kneading it. Probably going to also add a little bit of rosemary because I just love rosemary. And rosemary is really good for lots of different things to do with your health. And just to recap, make sure you don't leave any food lying around because that can attract unwanted visitors and upset the delicate ecosystem that exists in our woodlands. I think this needs a little bit more flour. And if you find that you're adding more flour and then it gets too dry, you can always add a little bit more water, but just try and keep the a good ratio, water to flour ratio, which you can find online. I think it might be equal amount of water to bread, or it might be 2 cups of flour for 1 cup of water. Okay, so when you knead your bread, I'm just going to knead it in the pot that I've got because I'm resourceful and I'm a poet and I do know it. God, how many times has that been said? Awful. And also, just make sure you keep an eye on your fire. Adding any more wood in the respect position. Keep that flame going for when you're roasting. You don't want it to get too quiet as well. Okay, I'm actually going to put one hand clean. So I'm going to lift up that pot and stick some wood behind underneath it because the fire's dying around it. Well, Okay, brilliant. So we're just going to carry on kneading this for 10 minutes, and then that just means you kind of fold the bread back in on itself, and then after that I'll cover it with some cling film, and then we will wait for up to an hour, but today I won't be waiting that long because I don't want the fire to cool down, so it's good to do this preparation probably a bit before. Okay, so that was kneading the bread, and I will show you when we start putting the bread on in the next part of the video. That was Unit 2 of baking bread on a fire, Ellese Elliott.